How many of us are guilty of getting the slightest pain in our body and immediately reaching for ibuprofen or Advil or something stronger to help alleviate the pain? I'm sure there's many of us, to help take the edge off. That's normally what we would do. But not me. I'm not like that. I don't like taking pain medicine. I don't like the feeling of being out of control of my body. I need to be in control of my body. So it was kind of surprising, one evening I was home by myself, laying in bed. It's the middle of the night, fast asleep, and I woke up with this immense pain from my left back. And it was almost paralyzing. That's how painful it was. And I just remember, waking up confused and thinking the first thought that came to my head, and I kid you not, I thought, oh my God, cancer. It's the first thought that popped in my head for whatever reason. But I thought, why would this thought appear in my head? And as soon as I could get up, I went to the kitchen, I drank 2 big glasses of water, and I thought, I have to call my mom. It's the first thing I thought I should do. And I call her up and I say, Mom, I have this great pain in my back, and what if it's cancer? I mean, it was paralyzing. I could not move while it was, just radiating throughout my back. And my mom encouraged me, well, let's go to the doctors and, check it out. So I made an appointment with my doctor and explained to him, I woke up in the middle of the night with this pain in my back. I've never had this pain before. And he assures me, it's just a muscle spasm. Maybe you are doing too much, but your vitals are fine, your blood pressure is great, you're young, you're active, you're healthy, you're not overweight. Here's some muscle relaxers to help you. But I said, no, I don't want to mask the pain. If there's something wrong, if I'm getting muscle spasms, what can I do to prevent this in the future? I don't want to rely on pain medicine. So then he suggests an alternative, maybe doing some electrotherapy on the muscles, getting into physical therapy, and go get a massage. So that's what I did. I started doing a little bit of physical therapy here and there. I went and got a massage, thought maybe I just needed to relax and de-stress. Work was causing me these stress pain. And that was that. And for the next few months, the pain would come. It wasn't as strong as that initial first night, but I thought I was doing everything I could to alleviate the pain and getting to the root of the problem. So 6 months goes by, and then I noticed that my arm started to get numb. I was taking a shower one night, and as I was washing underneath my arm, I thought, this is a new tingly sensation that I've never felt before. So I brought it up to my doctor, and I told him, hey, I'm starting to get this numbing, tingling feeling under my arm, and that wasn't there before. And now this is on top of the pain that I've been feeling with my back, like these muscle spasms. And then he assured me, you might just have a pinched nerve or something. You're fine, you're healthy, there's nothing to call for concern. Continue your physical therapy. So I did. And as the months went by, it turned into a year. And I just was managing the pain with physical therapy and stretching and drinking water. And it wasn't until I got pregnant that the pain started getting worse. I realized, okay, my entire underarm on my left side is now numb. And this whole pinched nerve feeling, this nerve damage is getting stronger. I then started getting shortness of breath. But every time I brought this up to anybody who would listen to me, they would just tell me, you're pregnant. The baby's gonna cause some discomfort for you. And I just thought, I don't get it. And I had the easiest pregnancy. I mean, I didn't get morning sickness once. I didn't have a lot of weight gain. I mean, you saw me from the back, I didn't even look pregnant. I was just all belly. I didn't have any crazy cravings. I wasn't nauseous. I mean, this was literally the easiest pregnancy. I was working full time, was able to, stand on my feet 8 hours a day. It just was my back. My back pain just would not leave me alone. And I noticed that it would get worse at night. So nights were kind of hard for me. But every time I brought it up to anybody, to the doctors, I even went to the ER a couple times saying, I'm having shortness of breath. Something's not right. They would just check the baby's heartbeat, tell me, you're fine, the baby's fine, go home and rest. So I did. And this went on a year and a half of me basically crying out for help to anybody who would listen. And everybody just told me, you have no medical history, you have nothing to worry about, you're young. These are just normal things that your body's going through. So it wasn't until one evening that I was driving home by myself on the freeway that I felt the worst pain, not only in my back, but it was traveling to the front of my chest now. And as I'm pulling over and calling 911, panicking because I can't even breathe at this point, ambulance comes, they pick me up, and at this point I'm just begging, can I just please take some ibuprofen at this point? And I never take pain medicine. And I'm 7.5 months pregnant and I'm begging for ibuprofen. And they take me in the ambulance and they're not allowed to give me anything. They dump me in the ER, and I kid you not, they tell the nurses, whoever was picking me up, this girl, she's 7.5 months pregnant, she's having a panic attack, we picked her up on the side of the road, she's your problem now. They thought I was having a panic attack. And they let me lay in a hospital bed for 4 hours while I was screaming and crying in pain and did absolutely nothing. I mean, they ran some blood work, they ran an EKG. I tried telling them I'm having a heart attack. I was desperately trying to get some relief at this point. For 4 hours, not one doctor came and saw me. It was just the nurses in the maternity ward trying to keep me calm at this point. And a nurse finally comes in with a bag of drugs. And I asked her, whoa, what's that? And she tells me, you know what? We don't know what's wrong with you. Your baby's fine. His heartbeat is normal. You're healthy. You're obviously in pain, so here's some morphine. Whoa. We're going from 0 to morphine? I'm pregnant. And you're trying to feed my body narcotics? And I said, absolutely not. Get me the hell out of this hospital. And they had to give me paperwork to sign out to discharge myself because I was refusing treatment, which I don't even think morphine, how is it even considered a treatment? So I sign out, I'm telling somebody, get me out of here. I would rather, if I'm gonna be laying here, I'd rather be laying in my own bed. But I knew as soon as I got home, I just knew, I'm like, something isn't right. I should not be feeling this pain. And why isn't anybody listening to me? I lasted a day at home and I thought, I have to go back to the ER. This isn't normal. So I wheeled back into the ER and it was the same nurse that I had been screaming at, 24 hours before. And I finally reasoned with her. I tell her, look, I am not a crybaby. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not here to try and get, drugs. But there is something seriously wrong. I know it. And nobody's listening to me. My chest is in so much pain. I can't even lay on any part of my side except for my left side. And she finally listened. She finally said, okay, I'm gonna send you downstairs to the ER. If they wanna run any tests on you, just let them run a test. And I said, please, that's all I'm asking. So they go downstairs and they finally convinced me to do an x-ray on my chest. And at this point, I'm just like, yes, please, do something. So they take an x-ray of my chest after, covering me from the belly down. I made sure they covered every inch of where, my son was at. And I said, please just focus on my left chest. This is where the pain is. I have never seen a doctor run into a room so fast after an x-ray was taken. This doctor runs in and says, your left lung has collapsed. It is filled with fluid and we need to drain it immediately. This may have cause for infection and we need to transfer you to your own room, stat. And that's when it all began. Then all the tests started running and all these theories were coming into play. And after being there for almost 5 days, and I allowed them to do a CT scan of my chest, and the radiologist who was performing it, I could just tell in his eyes. He said, yeah, we found a tumor in your left lung. And immediately I knew it was cancer. And it all just kind of came back full circle. I knew it all along. And for 1.5 years, I was trying to find the root of this problem. For 1.5 years, I did not take one narcotic. I was trying to listen to my body. I was trying to figure out, where is this pain coming from? This isn't normal. And I remember even going to my physician a week before my lung had collapsed because nobody else was listening to me. And I begged him, please, something's wrong. And he prescribed me Vicodin. 7.5 months pregnant. He wrote me a prescription for Vicodin, just telling me to tough it out, write it out. It's your 3rd trimester, you're having pregnancy issues, maybe the weight of the baby. I wasn't overweight. I was not overweight during my pregnancy. I was at a normal weight. I was so upset. I walked out of that office and I ripped up that prescription in the parking lot. Could you imagine me going to a pharmacy and getting that filled? Vicodin at 7.5 months pregnant. I hope somebody would have judged me. So I wanted to make this message to really emphasize on how we need to listen to our bodies. Our bodies are our number one doctor. When something isn't right, when something doesn't feel right, we shouldn't mask our pain with narcotics and with opioids, even taking Advil. I mean, if you have a headache, maybe it's because you're dehydrated. Maybe you need some water. If there's some underlying issue going on, it is so important that we find the root of that problem. Because for 1.5 years, I suffered with muscle spasms, with these back pains and this nerve pain. And all because nobody would do one image on me. They took one look at me, you're not overweight, you have great blood pressure, you seem like you have a healthy lifestyle, you look normal, there's nothing wrong with you. When there was a tumor growing so large that by the time they found it, they knew something had to have been wrong this entire time and treated me like I was crazy. So I really wanted to talk about body pain and how important it is to listen to your own body. Our bodies are telling us something is wrong, help, and we need to listen. And if you have a doctor who isn't listening, go to somebody else who will. And that we should not be suffering with pain. Our bodies are made to function normally and healthy, and it's up to us to take care of that. You know, and it upsets me that it took a long time for somebody to finally listen, and it got to that extreme. But I mean, and I think everything happens for a reason. I think I got pregnant with my son at the time I did. I think that me getting bigger in the belly and him growing and pushing and making the pain worse, I think that was for a reason, because who knows how much longer I would have gone without knowing the truth, without knowing what was really going on inside of me. You know, and I thank God every day for bringing my son into my life when he did, because that was a wake-up call. Not only to me, but to all the doctors who were finally thinking, oh, yeah, I guess there was something wrong this whole time. That's my little message for today, and I'll get back to you guys soon. I have my next video coming up with my first week of chemo and radiation, and a little bit of a hiccup that I encountered. However, I took care of it, and I'll be continuing very soon.